listening to a QLB Media Group podcast.
You want to run that back, Rosa?
I am Miss Cleo today. We're going to tell you your future, and today we're talking about your badass kids and them fucked up parents you had them by.
Well, hey y'all, it's
Hi.
We Just Talking Ish, episode 15, part 2.
15 part 2. Yes.
Yours, mine, ours, the highs, lows, and ghetto-ness
Yeah.
of co-parenting. Before we started recording, y'all, my co-hosts sound like they've had some ghetto co-parenting things to happen over the past week from the last time you heard our beautiful voices talking about co-parenting. Because there's always something new on the horizon when you're dealing with kids and the person that you related to them kids with, you know.
Well, when it comes to my son, it's hers.
And I heard, that's not your child.
Well, I guess it's her fiance's child now. So, Quinn, stop.
Oh, so you know what? All right, you know what? We're gonna come back to the extracurricular activities because that was the first one. But since we want to go, since this is like a developing story right now, like hot off the press, hot off the screenshot, maybe 3 hours ago.
And I'm gonna talk about it too. I don't give a damn.
Let's go right into yours, mine's, ours, co-parenting with the new relationship. So let's just get right on into it. I don't care how y'all weeks were because all y'all look real radiant or whatnot. You look real good. So I think everybody had a good week. It looks like it. Looks like everybody had a good week.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And keep about to have a good night after this. So we gonna make this shit. This is just 1 hour. 1 hour.
Starting the clock now.
All right. You can start it.
59, let's go.
69. What you mean? All right. So Q, the new relationship, co-parenting, and the new relationship. Tell me your story and tell me your thoughts and all of that, and then Rose, and then I'll go last.
Well,
Let's go.
You know, my son's mother is in a relationship. I don't give a damn about that. As a matter of fact, I'm happy because when we was together, all I wanted you was to be was happy.
Okay.
Me by yourself or with someone else. Clearly, it's with someone else, and you're happy to the point where you're getting married. Congratulations. And
It's
how
the
do I know
fiancé.
people that she's getting married? Well, today I tried to reach out to her so I can see my son after I haven't seen him in so long. So very long. That's another story on why so long, but so long. So she was like, in the very first text message after I asked her, did Coastin have any plans this weekend? She says, let me check with my fiance. She just let me
Volunteered this information.
with my fiance, and I'm like, okay, congratulations, but when did you have to check with another man about, so I can see my son? That's my son. And then she said, Lord, let me pull it up.
I was like, you want me to pull it up or you get
I'm
it?
finna say, I got it right here.
Yeah,
I got it right here.
Let me pull it up. She said, let me move it down to so many screens. She said, let me find it. Hold on, people.
You want me to say it?
Yeah,
Because he makes plans for Coastin some weekends. That's what she said.
Oh, yes. And I said, that's cool. But he's still my son. Like, I don't know what kind of games you playing or being messy, but And
And then
she
she said,
go ahead. One of y'all be her. Go ahead. And she said,
I want to be her.
he's the one that's active. You're hit and miss.
I said, because of you, let's not forget.
She
Well, I'm
said,
working Saturday, so if you want him, he'll be the one to meet you.
Q said, y'all ready? Y'all listen real good. Q said,
Everyone's active in his life because you can't keep a man and you won't let me see him. Same thing with Emmy, which is her daughter. And she said,
stop waiting until the end of the week asking for him. Ma'am, it's Tuesday.
it's Tuesday.
No. Read that again. She said, stop waiting until the week of.
Oh, stop waiting until the week of asking for him.
I shouldn't. It's what does it matter?
It's Tuesday.
It's
He said
Tuesday.
this weekend.
You were making advanced plans.
Very much so.
And then I said, and I'm not going to meet. Wait a minute, because
You said, I'm not going to meet him.
Because we skip one. Because she said, well, I'm working Saturday, so if you want him, he will be the one to meet you.
I said that.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
She said,
and I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to meet him. I don't know him because he could be the shooter. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to go back a couple episodes. I got shot a while
the first
back ago.
episode to find out why Q got shot.
No,
And
I
we talked.
ain't even finna tell you what episode it is. Just go and listen to them all and see if you catch it.
Well,
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's true.
Because we talked about it a couple times. We got
did.
more details later on.
I'm like, I don't know this dude.
We did,
Why would
yeah.
I meet him? He could be the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And she said,
Well, if you get shot, it's because you did something to deserve it.
ooh,
I said,
What?
nope, I didn't, but okay. Never mind. I don't got time for your messy behavior. Cosin's loss, not mine or yours.
mm.
And that's when she stated that her sister could meet me with him. I said, okay, thank you. That happened on this very day. Today is May 31st, 8/28. We're reading this to you. This happened a couple hours ago. As with the day we decided to record this was the day that shit happened.
Indeed.
Honestly,
and I sent it to my group, wonderful co-host, because I was like, well, this goes perfect for our co-parenting episodes, plural, that we were doing.
Agreed.
And I would have to say,
it was the fiance part for me. Like, I really like, listen, listeners.
I'm going to say this to you, Q.
I don't care.
You fell into that. You fell right into what she wanted you to do with her messy shit.
I don't think he fell. I think he
Like,
tripped.
I did congratulate.
But I think he recovered
gathered himself.
really
He
quickly.
did. He recovered. But she threw that.
Yeah,
regardless to whether there is even a he. Because like you said in there, there's always a he. Regardless of if there is a he.
That was the line for me.
She was saying that to get at you. It was to pick at you, to make you, because she sounds like the type of person that I'm gonna say something just to see if he still has feelings for me.
Right. And I get that. I get that when she said it. But like, that's why I was like, just congratulations. Like, what
I would have ignored the
me?
hell out of that comment and kept right on with it. I wouldn't have congratulated her. I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have acted like it was not. What?
And then
it was
when
scratched out.
Right. And
It
then
came
when she
too
even
scratched
said
out.
that he be planning stuff to do something with my son, I'm cool with that too.
Yeah, I mean, if he's the,
as I stated on the last
Beyonce.
episode,
Right.
I'm cool with whatever. That's your man. He wants to do
The
something.
issue is withholding him from you, which is the true issue. And
I mean,
she's still trying to do that.
all the niggas is active. I would be active too if you would let me see him. When the active nigga is there 24/7, he has no choice but to be active. It's a given.
Agreed.
Well, some of them ain't active. She just wants him to be active. So I must tell you that he's active because, for one, she knows. Y'all have had these discussions in the past. She knows that the issue that you had and the reason why you kept coming back was because you didn't want there to be another man in your son's life.
Right.
So she's using this.
Oh, well, look, she needs to listen to the
now.
last episode too. She needs to be a listener as well.
That you're not in that place
because you're not in that place anymore.
Yeah.
You've grown from that. But I'm just saying, she doesn't know that you've grown. She hasn't. She knows, but she don't know. You know what I'm saying? So she's using the same tactics that she's used before.
Can I
to
get an
at you.
invitation +1?
Ooh, Eric, and let her catch the bouquet.
Can I get an
Parents
invitation? Step one. I mean, +1.
Step
Shit.
one.
Hey,
I know there ain't gonna be no tuxes involved. Do you want me to wear overalls or something?
For
I'm not.
sound like they're wedding on the side of the house.
Ooh, shotgun wedding. Huh, see what I did there?
On the side of the house. Gonna decorate with some Dollar Tree balloons.
I'm not finna do that, but I'm like, that's
You already did
crazy.
it.
Like,
It's done.
Why is co-parenting so goddamn hard?
It's not co-parenting. It's not hard. It's the individual that you're trying to co-parent with that makes it a little difficult. It's so your situation, I guess it would go right into when I'm talking about the new relationship. Like, how soon do you think it's okay to introduce the person that you're seeing to your children? And like, how do you gauge because you have some people, whatever relationship they're in, their child gets to know their person. And then you have other people that never introduce their children to their person. I'm that person.
Me?
All the way. Like, I have been single or single adjacent for 9 years. And my children have never met anyone directly with me saying this is my person. Like, they may have been around a person that I was dealing with at the time, because y'all know I said a long time ago in the dating episode that I like to date people that I've been around in some kind of setting. So my children have been around some people that I've dated like that, but they didn't know that I was like straight up dating them. They just thought that they were a friend, a part of the group. They've never met anybody until Memorial Day. They just met. Never done it.
An individual that I know, even though you're going to think that I'm talking about the same person from the story, and I probably may be, and I probably maybe not, but that individual, when I was with her, I met her daughter very soon, because I think it was for her, she can't get rid of her kids like that, or babysitter or whatever. So it's to bring on your mate early to meeting them. Nope. That way we can go on family dates.
Nope. Nope.
If I can get you accustomed to being around my child, then I can spend more time with you.
I understand.
But because I don't have a sitter, there's going to be dates we're going to be here and scattered.
I would rather have them here and scattered. Because the thing about it is, like I said before, it's not so much just about you coming around my kids and bringing different people around my kids. For one, like I said, you may be here today and gone tomorrow. You may be here 5 minutes from now and be gone 5 minutes later. Yeah. My attitude sometimes be like,
you DJing?
No. Yep, that too. And so, Ricka. So, it's just, you can't have the kids around. It's too much going on. Yeah. It's too much going on. I don't trust everybody around my kids. I don't trust my,
me coming right. Me,
and that's males.
me coming from me being a man, I don't even want to get to, like, I'm tired of getting to know females' kids, and then I get attached, and then nothing progresses from that.
The thing about it is, how you're feeling
me until we decide that it's time.
And the way that you're feeling, the kids feel the same way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You constantly bringing different people around. They get to attach to them, and then it doesn't work. No, we ain't got time for all that. Yep. Now, my girls, because they're older, they've heard me in conversation with people, and they've heard, these knuckleheads talking about, tell them they stepdaddy. I ain't telling them shit, because, bro, you not a stepdaddy. You're not.
Do stepdaddy.
You're not a stepdaddy. I don't do stepdaddies unless I'm doing a stepdaddy. Let's understand that.
You taking applications though?
Baby, I will.
Y'all heard it.
Stepdaddy, some sugar daddy.
Stepdaddy apps. taking some apps.
And hoochie daddies, I'm gonna need you to put your shots on.
Hoochie daddy applications.
I don't want the hoochie daddies because y'all ain't right either. But just wear the shorts though.
They right now. They right now.
They're right now. But no, you know, I
Just
don't
for the
feel
record,
comfortable.
she took it nasty on this episode.
It's
Okay.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We had a little spice this time.
But I just don't feel like you need to introduce your kids to everybody. I understand that dating is difficult, especially if you can't have your kids around or you can't get babysitters or you don't have anybody. To me, understandably, that's if you got to have those dates, few in between. If he really wants to be there, he really wants to get to know you. He gonna understand those few in between dates.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not gonna be a situation where I can't see him or and if he leaves, baby, count your blessings and move on to the one that's move on. Because I mean, your children
figure it
safety.
out like a lunch date.
and-
Like if
and-
you're at lunch, he'll stop by the job. If you have a
And
job,
not even
come out on your
those
lunch
dates
break or whatever.
where the kids have went to sleep and then you come over.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, like
'Cause
none of that either. I mean, you do that.
I got a friend that had she
When
was with
it's
him after that for
solidified.
later on.
Yeah,
Yeah, once she decided to solidify it, she had been sneaking the band in for the longest.
yeah.
longest.
Oh, I'm just that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Slide him in and then slide him out before the kids get up.
Yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes,
100%. I've done that. I
See, well,
have done that.
I have too, but I decided to stop being the cockroach. I only come out at night.
Look, hold on. The cockroach be sitting there during the day too now. Laying on the counter. Long lay. No, if y'all didn't see Patricia.
They can't see me. They can see me now, but they can't see what I was doing. Well, we're going to roll it right into step parents. Anybody have any step parent experience?
I do.
Yeah,
Kind of, sort of.
I think I did. I
You
thought I
did.
had my
You
SDLs.
did, for sure.
You did for sure.
You
I
did
thought
for
I
sure,
had my
Q.
SDL, stepdaddy
Because
license.
y'all were doing like daddy-daughter dates and stuff. Like you were like in there. Like that was your girl. Like you have your
Yeah.
stepdad
She
license.
she was.
Yeah.
But now she's old enough to make decisions as a child by herself. So, that's gone. That's over with. It's all good.
Because she is her mama's child. So, jump
Yeah.
on. I'm sorry.
Not
Well,
jump on.
it's not even that. It's the fact that she probably was privy to a lot of things that you didn't realize she was privy to. Because kids hear and see things, a lot of things. So she probably the nights that you didn't even realize mama was crying, she was there and heard it. You know what I'm saying? So she's gonna look at it like he hurt even though I love him, he hurt my mama. And at the end of the day, mama is who she has to ride with. Because mama is who she has to leave and go be with. So she's that's how that goes.
That's a valid point. Rosa 1, Q 0.
It's not.
Oh,
I didn't even know we was.
I don't know.
It was
It
a keep
just
score
It just
type
fit right there.
situation.
Ignore me. Just ignore me. It just fit right there. Sorry.
But I've done the step parent thing too, to the point where I was able to get the mother of the children and to kind of see where she was going wrong. It was a situation I was dating this guy, and they literally could not talk to each other. When she would bring the kids to him, she would disappear. Like she'd be supposed to pick him up on Sunday, or she was supposed to be somewhere. She stopped answering her phone. She stopped answering her text
She out
messages.
there having a true hot girl.
She would just be gone. So I think one time we had the kids. Oh, and that was another thing. They come over. The little girl hair wouldn't be combed. She wouldn't see no clean
Like mine.
clothes. She wouldn't see no diapers or nothing like that. And I'd be like, I would help him get the kids together. Okay. So this particular time, she was supposed to meet me to pick the kids up because he had to go to work or whatever. So I'm waiting at the spot to drop them off. She's not answering the phone. She's not returning anything. He texting her. I'm not texting her because I was giving her number, but I'm like, she don't know me, so I'm not gonna do all this.
Right.
But when she pulls up, she's thinking that he was there and it was just me. So I put the kids in the car because they were like, mommy not coming to get us. What? And it was pissing me off because I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's in the middle. It's 8 o'clock. When I was like 10 o'clock at night, we've been calling you since 6 o'clock. This is ridiculous. So I'm sitting there. I put the kids in the car, though. I kept my composure with the kids. I didn't say nothing to them. I put the kids in the car. I was saying, bye, y'all. They was like, bye, I love you. And, and she got mad. So she ended up texting, but she ended up texting me. And she was saying something about the kids. And I was just like, hey, look, first of all, baby girl, let me talk to you. Let me do what I normally do. Let me talk to you about you. And she ended up calling me and she was like, I just don't understand. All y'all want to do is take his side. I said, baby girl, I never mentioned him. I mentioned everything about you. I said, I'm telling you about what your kids are saying. I'm telling you about the things that you're doing. I said, I don't give a damn if he never steps up to do what he's supposed to do. At the end of the day, you're their mother. You need to be their mother and stop, trying to get back at him. I said, because you ain't hurt nobody but these kids. These kids are the one that's getting hurt.
The main thing.
She thought that we were going to get on the phone, and she told me, she said, I really thought that I was going to have to get on the phone with you. We were going to cuss and argue and fuss and fight like I've done with some of the women that he's dealt with in the past. I said, baby, I don't have that type of energy. These aren't my kids. So I don't have to fuss and fight and argue with you. And we ended up having a conversation. She was like, well, I've never had anybody put it to me like that before. She changed her way of doing things. And when she moved out of state, she would let the kids call me. She would text me and tell me, oh, they did great in school. Oh, they did this. Me and her had a whole conversation. And me and her had a whole conversation. And she was like, thank you. She did. She told me thank you. Now, I think after she was so upset that me and him broke up. Baby, she knew why I broke up with him. I learned what she learned. So when we broke up, she still would call. And then I think she kind of slumped and went back into her ways because he went back into his. So,
well, you
it was
tried.
good for a while. He was like, man, she ain't never, when we was talking, he was like, man, she ain't never acted like this. He said, me and her actually had a conversation. We didn't argue. He was like, I don't know what you told her. I said, same thing I've been telling you. Stop being an ass. Think about these kids and stop being an ass. So being a step parent in that sense was okay. Now and his oldest daughter still calls me to this day. She'll call me, she'll text me. So I'm still cool. I don't try to get involved with people's kids like that. Because especially if I'm not involved in mine, I'm not going to be involved with yours. Because I just don't I don't want to get that attached to your child and then you're gone. So
I mean, that's fair. I've actually met more men that I've been talking to. I've met their children, and most of them have daughters. I've met their daughters, and they never meet my son in that official capacity. But I've met more men's daughters in my time than anything. Like I said, mine, if they met mine, it was just friend. It wasn't no, I'm kicking it with them. None of that to the sort. Like, never did that. So you have to be careful with that. But once what I said last week, when you marry somebody or you decide that you're going to get married, you're marrying everything that comes with them. So you don't feel like you can take on their children, their ex-spouse or their children's mom, mothers, whatever, then don't step your toe off in that swimming pool.
Baby.
Don't do it because you gotta start thinking about that.
And if you can't fight, don't get involved with mine.
We ain't doing no fighting.
Because you miss my children, I'm gonna fight you. Walmart wall, here you come.
You guys, my kids, them about that. We ain't doing no fighting.
Baby, I've had to almost come to blows.
I got too much to lose to do that. I'm a white woman when it comes to that. Hello, 911. Because your time and your money and your record on paper is way more than me. I'm not 20 years old. I'm not finna be scrapping with you out.
I was younger then.
Not now. I'm not doing it now. I got too much to lose to be playing with you like that. Yeah.
I ain't bothered by none of this. The thing about it is, it was never that I was bothered with them, about them, being in the lives, being the new chick. They were more bothered about me. And I'm like with my oldest son's father, one of his girlfriends, me and her, she got smart at the mouth, and before I could react, he saw my face and he pulled off. So I was like, okay, cool. But I was like, tell him, don't get smart when it comes to my child, because I wasn't talking to her, I was talking to you. And she hopped her ass in a conversation she didn't need to be in. you know, if you the
And you
wife,
hopped her back out.
oh, I popped the ass back out. He hurried up and pulled off before I could get 2 words in. But
Don't you? She's just violent.
no, I was speaking to him about my child. I was telling him what was going on and things that he was doing. And
We gonna work on him.
well, he good with us. I looked at her. I said, well, you know, when he with me, he did this, and that. Well, like I said, he good with us. And I said, well, like, and he said, all right, it's time to go. And he pulled off real quick. Like, you knew to get our ass because I was going to snatch her ass through that damn window. Quit playing with me.
Come
I'm
put
not
your forehead
talking-
up here on the screen and we gonna touch some healing.
I'm healed now. That was years ago.
I don't know, because you still get this same fire in your throat like you would do it today if somebody hit the right note.
In your throat.
I'ma laugh. I might not
Not
fight
that throat. All right, go.
that throat too. It's the goat.
Your larynx. Your esophageal massage.
That's where it go. Me.
Oh, God. Speaking of me, my house,
In the
your
mic.
house, our child, though, because you kind of led right into that. So,
Yeah.
and I kind of touched on it a little bit last week with the
Yep.
story about me and the boy's stepmom pulling up. So, with rules and like if they're, okay, the best one, if they're on punishment at your house, should
That's
they be
your
on
house.
punishment at the other person's house as well?
That's your house.
Yes. No, it's not a.
So the father is always gonna be trying to be the savior.
No, he ain't.
Well, I am.
That's wrong. If that child is on punishment one place, that child is on punishment at the other place because that means that we're on one accord. Your mother and the father are on one accord. Just because it's your turn to go to your dad's house. Because see, that's what kids will do. That's what little Missy gonna do to you. She gonna go get in trouble if mama talk crazy and then know it's, oh, I'm finna go, well, I gotta go to my dad's house this weekend. I'll be out punishment. I'll be okay. No, your ass still on punishment when you get over here too. You're still on punishment.
So
The rules need to be across the board.
So, give you an example, Rosa. I understand. I respect your thoughts. I initially tried to think that way, but it doesn't always work that way.
It don't.
So-
I ain't gonna say it worked that way. I just said it's
Yeah.
supposed to be that way.
I don't know. Because, okay, so hear me out. If they got in trouble at their dad's house for not finishing their chores, you're right to get in trouble with that, but that's a chore at that particular house. So that crime doesn't really apply at my house.
Or
Wait a minute.
Or
If he
e-
got
hold
in
on,
trouble
or-
for
or
not doing
even-
chores at the
Yeah,
house, the
yeah.
crime should fit the punishment then.
Right,
So
and
that
so-
means
so
it
then I mean
shouldn't
he-
be carried over into your house.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, to go back to your original argument, they can't be on punishment at both houses if it depends on what type of trouble they're
what
in.
if I don't agree with the crime to the punishment because you are an overreactor as a mother?
It depends on the crime. That's what I'm
we're
getting to.
saying.
Yeah, it depends on the crime.
crime.
So, like, if you got in trouble for not washing the dishes and not taking the trash out before whatever time frame or whatever they told you to do, and then the time passed, okay, yeah, you should have got in trouble over there for that. But once you get home, you're not in trouble for that with me. So we're carrying on about our day. Now, if you
when I
got
speak-
suspended from school,
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. School, bad grades, being disrespectful, things like that. But doing chores and things, the punishment should fit the crime and the
even the
time frame.
disrespect in my case doesn't carry over. Like, if they get smart with me, they're not necessarily on punishment over there. And to the point, because really me and my ex-husband don't directly communicate anymore at all. Malachi's almost 15. Mike is 11. So they basically talk as far as scheduling when we get picked up, dropped off, what our schedules are like directly with their dad. I don't speak to my ex-husband often at all for anything unless we need to clarify something. So he'll call and ask, what y'all get on your report cards. They tell him at this point, my kids basically make good grades. They don't do nothing now. But when they were little, we were trying to streamline it a little more. And so with the big stuff like school stuff, we would be like united on that kind of stuff. But like, you getting a smart mouth from me over here, you ain't gonna get in trouble for that over there. You might say, don't talk to your mom like that, don't do your daddy like that, whatever.
That's why I
But-
said the punishment still has to fit the crime.
Yeah.
It still has to fit the crime, and that's It can't be overdone.
And Q, how would you know if they're still an overreactor and you're not in the house anymore? Like, they may have been an overreactor 3 years ago. They may not be an overreactor now. And as your children grow, your discipline and the way that you speak to them and the way that you handle them changes over time. Because sometimes your gangster has to turn down and other times your gangster has to turn up.
Mm-hmm.
Because she got the robe on. Because
they focus.
Because if we're still in constant communication as parents together, I still know you.
Not really.
Communication don't stop. If you're an overreactor, you're an over. Plus, we're starting to get to these age where we're starting to be complacent with our moods.
Psych.
Not even.
Nope.
My shit changed.
Stubborn
all the time.
Our moods, like.
Nope.
Mm-mm. I'm not getting complacent in that.
Well, I'm 37 now. I guess I'm just an old man. Like, I was ready to call the cops.
Negro, I'm 46.
Dude two doors over blasting his music at 8. That's who I'm becoming.
Oh, I
get excited when I buy a lawnmower. That's who I'm becoming.
I get excited about kitchen equipment. It still doesn't mean I'm going to be complacent.
You are an overreactor.
I love wall.
I am not an overreactor.
Decor.
You overreact now.
I do not.
When certain situations come up, you tell a story. I got 15 episodes here of stories
about when I used to be, but I'm not currently. And I bet
you if something was to happen now, you would go crazy just now.
I have stopped a lot of people. Do you not realize that? I have stopped. I wish my kids were here, but you could ask one of them. They tell you, no, I don't really overreact anymore. I'll be actually the one that's be like, hey, calm down until they make a move. Then we ain't making no moves. I can sit there and be quiet for a while. I've learned to bask in my pettiness. I am basking in my pettiness in my older age.
I don't overreact because you just got to ask what number I am. And then that's the personality you get. So we all exist. We all exist
all at
the same time.
Overreacting.
Nah, all of us don't overreact. You know how you switch the mask? That person is for their job. So there's a version of me that turns up. Yeah.
Damn.
The mask. The mask.
So yeah. I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying. Cute. Okay, for instance, I used to have to be a crazy psycho person when my boys were little. They were boys and they thought they were Spider-Man. They jumping all off shit, breaking beds, writing on stuff.
And you probably going crazy. To me, they boys.
Right. But you not finna tear my shit up. So I used to turn up. So now because I acted like that back then, when they get in trouble, I'm real chill. And my kids be like, when she real chill, we're about to die. Let's just stop. Exactly. So like now I'd be like, you sure you want to do that? You sure you getting ready to do it? And see, I couldn't do that when they were younger. I used to go off, go ham, act the fool, whatever to get their attention. Now I don't do that. So if I call you and say, hey, the boys did A, B, and C, 8 years ago, I call, look, you need to come get them because it's totally different, but it doesn't mean the crime is less in what it is. My temperament regarding how I respond to my children have changed over time because they're at different ages. So you still can't use the she overreacting just because she overreacted when they was 5 and now they 15. So that argument still don't stand over here, cute.
So, no. Quinn still 0.
Yep.
All right, well, moving along.
Well, we're going to try other siblings that aren't yours. So, you got your children and then they at their other parent house and there are other children in that house too. How do you handle those children? Because they have a relationship with your child, whether good or bad or indifferent.
Well, I spoke on that, I think, last week when I was speaking about how when I just had my boys and my youngest son's father kind of eliminated my older son to get back at me. Yeah. Talking about, until it didn't happen. But
so you're all inclusive.
I mean, I'm not going to force it. If you don't want to be a part of my other child's life, after you've been there, then I'm fine with that. That's a choice, and I can't say, oh, you better this than the third. You can't be around your own child. No, I can't make you do it, but I will voice the fact that, hey, that's kind of messed up. You were a part of this child's life for so many years. Why all of a sudden now, just because we're not together, you don't want to be a part of that child's life,
no,
and they're looking at you.
That's me.
Yeah, we did talk about that last week. Yeah, I don't like that.
I took little Sea Dog to the zoo.
Little Sea Dog.
And I, she had her daughter that weekend too, so bring her too.
Yeah.
And then the other way, it should be. Okay, and so in my case, example, there was one Saturday, my kids were at their dad's house. My oldest son was gone, but her son and my youngest son were at the house. And they called and was like, my son called and was like, Mom, it's only like, it's nothing here that we can actually eat. Like, everything that's here has to like be cooked, and we don't really do the cooking, because I think he was like 9 at the time and her son was like 13 or 14, somewhere in there, but he didn't really know how to like cook or do anything like that. So he was like, can you bring us like some snacks or something? So I didn't just take my child snacks. I took his stepbrother, my ex-husband's new wife, her child. I took him snacks too. Like, I wasn't just going to drop off my child some snacks. I dropped off both of them some snacks. It's just like my children's stepsisters, they're adults now. They're in their early 20s. But since they drive, sometimes they'll pick up and drop off my boys. And if it's someplace further, I will cash app them directly, because they're young. It's their car, it's their gas. And it's technically not their responsibility to transport my kids, but they love my kids. Those are their little brothers. So instead of their parent doing it, they'll do it. And if they do it, they're young, they want their little money, I'll cash out them $20, $25 and tell them thank you for dropping them off, because it's really not their responsibility. It's, their stepdad, my ex-husband, responsibility, but they'll do it. They don't mind doing it. So that's how I look at it. Like, all the kids involved, because the kids didn't ask for none of this. They're just living out the consequences of the adults that are over them. So if you're a child, I'm gonna treat you just like
you're one of
I treat my own children.
Just like when I'm sucking on one titty.
Yep.
And I look over there, I'm not finna leave the other titty out.
Absolutely. You have it in your hand, and then when you're done with that, when you switch hand to mouth, you just out. Yeah, I'm with you. I believe in that ministry. Absolutely. Rosa, check it out on us, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my.
Come back. Come on back. Come back to the titties.
Glad I put mine up today.
They are up.
Mine up today.
I'm just giving an example
the spot where they are.
Those who are not understanding, I have to break it down.
We got it. Okay. Last thing.
Well, because, I think, even though that same child's father who took himself away, when he buys for my son, and he would come, my son be like, Dad, I want some snacks too, some things, or bring us something to eat, bring me something to eat, what your sisters want. Or either they'll go out there and say, Mr. Sean, can I have? And he would melt. The girl was like putting the butter on the daggum skillet, on a hot cast iron skillet. He just melt whatever they want, they got. I was like, don't make no damn sense. Can I get $5?
They're the chocolate covered versions of you. So
he said, because he always say my oldest daughter, he was like, that was supposed to be mine. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. She wasn't supposed to be.
Supposed to be mine. Speak.
No.
He thought he had some residuals left in there.
No,
so he thought.
No,
he thought though he had one hanging on swimming.
He hadn't
in
touched me in years. I don't know why he thought that.
That is what. That's what. Q's favorite conversation. Extracurricular activities. This is so now we're outside of the necessity of what the child needs, to function every day. Picking them up from school, emotional support, family support, clothes,
right.
The day-to-day stuff. Now we're talking about.
It's not.
We're talking about
no.
Oh Lord, we're talking about the extra activities, in my opinion, that makes a whole child, being involved in different things.
You gotta have sex to make your child a whole child.
No, that's not what we're talking about.
I meant like track, football, basketball, cheerleading,
I apologize
dance,
yet again.
swim, bowling, golf, whatever.
Yes.
So when it comes to extracurricular activities and you're co-parenting, how do you go about working that out with you and their
I'm gonna have
parent?
to just take a back seat on this one.
Yeah, because you ain't got there yet. Yeah, you ain't got there yet. You'll be there soon.
Well,
but what we not gonna do is wear them stupid ass shirts.
No, we gotta wear the shirts.
No.
I have a whole thing of shirts right now from when my girls were in track. I had to cheer.
He's stepdad that's active in the life doing his shirt.
We're doing out it. We're doing out it. We're doing out it. We're doing out it.
My shirt says the real dad who's in and out, according to her. But
in and out dad.
In and out dad.
In and out dad. Active dad.
But mine's gonna
shooter dad.
Mine's
hit or miss dad.
Mine's gonna get
Alexa
smaller.
Dad.
My word's gonna get smaller at the end, where it's gonna say where every person in your life is active because
can't keep them in. That was the line of the week, Q. That was solid gold. I'm so proud of you for that one. She probably went like
clutching her invisible pearls. Fake pearls, I mean.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't relate. When my son did do sports, his dad was there. As far as for my girls, yeah, I think he's never seen them run. They've been running for the last 3 years.
Did he come to the church stuff when I was cheering?
He came to one event. Mm-hmm. It was homecoming. And only reason why he came was because one of them was on the homecoming court. Mm. He actually bought a shirt. He actually had the shirt. He didn't wear the shirt, but he bought the shirt. Yeah, but other than that, no, I don't. I mean, I asked to help fund it, because that shit ain't cheap.
No, it's not cheap.
But I don't get that type of help either. So.
Which kind of piggybacks to what I was talking about last week about the whole decision-making thing. Like, do you run it by the parent that, hey, I'm going to put Timmy in this? Are you going to help? Actually, my boys, they got 1,000 names. So one of their names are Timmy and Tommy. So came up. So Timmy's in this. And it's going to cost XYZ. The practices are this day. Are you going to be involved in this? And if the answer is no, then I learned this over time, y'all. If the answer is going to be no, then I say, well, this is something that they want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed. But please know that it's going to possibly impede on some of your scheduling time. So if I say they can't come this weekend because they have this, then this is why. Because check this, I got a lot of this because Malachi has been extremely active since he was like 4. And so I've tried multiple ways of trying to keep up with schedules or say, hey, to not cut in your weekend, they have a practice on this day. Take a picture of the schedule. This is what this looks like. Can you get them there on time? My baby had to quit his second year of being a part of the Memphis Junior Grizzlies dance team down to Phase Forum. He did it. He made it for 2 seasons. He did not finish the second season because a lot of the practices were on Sundays. And he was with his dad on Sunday. And his dad said that he was going to make sure he got to practice on Sundays. And guess what, y'all? He never made sure he got to practice on Sundays. So that was one of the things. There was another thing where he picked a place for him to play basketball when he was really little through a church. But the church was way in like Olive Branch. And I've always lived in the Raleigh-Bartlett area. But he signed him up. He wanted to play basketball. And I said, well, okay, the practices were like on Tuesdays during my time and the games were on Saturdays during his time. So this was only for maybe a league that he only did for maybe 2.5 months. So on Tuesdays, I made sure he got the practice. I took their drive. And on Saturdays, he actually got him to the game. So we've had experiences where it worked and then where it didn't work. But most of the time it didn't work. And so like now, like I said, he's big now, so he'll tell them whatever he's involved in, and he'll just say, well, I can't come this weekend because I got to do this, and this. And he'll just say, okay. And then he'll say, well, you can come if you want to. And most of the time he doesn't come. Like all them basketball games Malachi played this year, his daddy was at one. And the one game he came to, guess what? Malachi didn't even play that game. But
well, see, that's what I'm saying. I have it where when they were smaller, and of course that's when he was around a little bit more. Then yeah, he was there. And I think my baby son was playing basketball too, so he was there for that. But like I said, when he's there, when y'all are together, he's A1 father. He's father of the year. But once he's gone, he's gone. You know, it ain't nothing there. And so, like I said, the girls have run for the last 3 years. And of course, now I know, I can't say, oh, well, he's not here. I'm I'm halfway across the country on him.
Right.
Now. So,
right.
And they're running. And, even with graduations and things like that, some of them he didn't show up to. Some of them he did. I know my baby girl has been getting awards since she could get an award. So he wasn't there present for that. My oldest daughter, same thing. She's been getting awards, and I will never forget. She had her 5th grade graduation, and he said he was coming, and he was supposed to buy her a dress. He didn't do that. I had to go and get a dress at the last minute. Still made sure she was on. I remember my baby watching the door during through the whole ceremony.
Ooh, that hurt.
And me constantly calling, like, hey, dude, texting, where the hell are you? She's watching the door. She's waiting on you to come through this door. Please make sure you come through this door. He didn't text me back like the night before because he supposedly had bought the dress, but didn't bring it to me.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Did that happen before you leave?
Yeah, that happened.
The first season? Or the first attempt?
Yeah,
I didn't even want to call it a season.
So that was
the first attempt?
2 years ago. Yeah.
That was
almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, so because she's 8th going to 9th now. So
no, she's 9th going to 10th.
So it had just happened the prior school year. So we talked about it on our practice run of we just talking ish in 2020.
And as you can see, it still bothers me because I know my baby sat there and looked, and then he blamed me. He was like, you don't want me to be great. All you do is talk down to me. Dude, your daughter is sitting here watching the door, waiting on you. And then you never show up. Her heart is crushed. You didn't bring the dress. Thank God I knew he wasn't going to bring the dress. I knew I was skeptical about it. So I bought a dress just in case.
Yeah, you definitely talked about, I think it was on the Let That Hurt Go episode.
Yeah.
I know that's a hurt that's kind of hard to let go.
On the first failed attempt of this podcast.
Yeah, I remember you talking about. I remember you telling us about that. How you just had a sense that he wasn't going to come through, so you went ahead and got a dress and did all of that.
Yeah,
that's
and
why.
she's still. It's like even now, when it comes to certain things that happen in her life, it's like I see her still looking at that door, waiting for him to say something, waiting for him to pick up the phone, and it irks the hell out of me. It's like. And I just had a conversation with him because she was doing some other crazy stuff. And I was like, dude, can you just pick up the phone every day? All you got to do is send a text. How you doing? How's your day? Please act like you want to be a part of their life. Can you just do that? And of course I got, that's not a problem. I'm this and that. It ain't like you got a job. So you ain't doing jack all day.
Now, Tommy.
So, no, he ain't pretending to have one.
I was at the workhouse, dog.
No, he was at the house, sitting up, getting high, playing the game. You could at least pick up your phone and text them. Say, hey, how you doing? You want to text us when you got family members that they don't even remember, that they hadn't seen since they were little, talking about.
They barely remember him, sound like shit.
Honey. That's the shit that I deal with. So yeah,
is why I chose. Like, I want to move to Florida. If I want to move to Florida,
Floridians
so
are crazy.
Bad. I'm crazy.
It's expensive as food.
I want to move to Florida.
They laws is messed up.
I want to have a job in Florida and then do jet ski tours on the weekend, so I could be black as an African. But the reason why I decided not to move,
Around the jet.
the reason why I decided not to is because not only do I have one, I have two. And I always wanted my two to know that when I want daddy to be somewhere at the extracurricular activity, that I'm going to be there when they call. Not, well, I'll try, or I can't, or I'm out of town, so just tell me about it. And even though I had people trying to tell me that, you go ahead and do it anyways, they'll be okay. Like, it just deep down, I can't.
I don't blame you. I mean, that's being an active father.
Yeah, I'm watching that on the other end now. Like, he be mad if his ex-wife don't tell him every single thing that they got to do, because he doing field trips, he doing principal for the day and drop off, pick up. He was the coach to the school's little basketball team that his son was on. Like, he not playing. Like, he up in there all the way, 1,000%. Unless, in that too, that's why I'm glowing. But you have some that are like totally active. You opened the door, Q, and I just had to walk through. I knew what that was. I knew what that was, so I just had to touch an agreement real fast.
I'm just upset with the person keep taking out these headphones like she's some sort of nun when she be going down
she's the nun now. She's the nun
down the street.
I am officially the nun.
She's the nun now.
No,
shoveled.
I am officially
shoveled.
the nun.
How that work? Like shovel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm the nun. I'm the nun. I ain't getting none. Ain't had none. Don't know when I'm gonna get none. So yes, I am the nun.
Everybody, if you just go cash at We Just Talking, $ We Just Talking this, so we can buy Rosa some toys, please.
I got toys.
I got toys.
I got toys part 2. Amazon box. What is in there?
I want some meat.
Bring on the meat.
Well, they got Piggly Wigglies out there or what?
He did.
I don't know what they got out here, but I ain't dealing with it. It looked like it's contaminated.
No, the grocery store food.
Oh, I thought you were talking about them.
What kind of grocery store?
Oh my
what you
God!
Got?
They got a
Publix.
They got. No, they have fries. Remember I told you they got fries. They don't have Kroger. It's fries, even though everything in there looks like Kroger. And I can go to the Kroger app and get to it. But it's fries, and then they have so it's not Super Low, it's Food City.
Food City. Cute. You can't run with that.
And Safeway.
Food
their own
City.
grocery stores out there.
Food City. I like that.
No Food Lions.
All you can
Hell
eat.
no, thank God.
Look, all you can eat. Food City.
Food City is more geared towards
Are we done talking about extracurricular activities?
Oh, my bad.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
kind of
well, with 8 minutes and 55 seconds left on our recording clock here,
we can prompt you what's coming up next week. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, because she showed me. No, they ain't no yes, because you made a face last video like you didn't want, like when I had brought up this, because you always talking about someone being emotional.
Oh yeah, it's some HeMotionals out there. I dealt with one yesterday.
It's okay to express yourself.
She's referring to HeMotional, she's not talking about just expressing yourself and opening up with your feelings. It's the ones that's having a temper tantrum.
Temper tantrum.
It's different.
It's totally different.
I want you to feel safe enough to open up to me in that way. But being emotional is you having a damn temper tantrum when you're not getting your way.
Because you're not getting your way.
Because he's finna have one in a minute.
Drop bars.
He did.
When
I totally agree.
That men have their hearts, take care of their hearts like women take care of their bodies. Like women, that bars. And because it's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very true.
So it's okay to be emotional, and if it's
No,
a
no,
problem for
no,
your
no, no, no.
woman,
No, 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 no,
No,
no.
you're
No.
she
missing
needs
it.
to
Q.
emotional on.
You're not using emotional in the right way. She
Right,
made the word. She has a definition of the word. Your interpretation of the word emotional is incorrect,
Right.
Quentin Berkeley.
If she
Emotional
don't
We
want
talking
you
about
to
these
be
crybabies. No, we talking about
then she
it's
can
it's
be
emotional.
emotional on.
No. He can
No.
be emotional.
He can be emotional. He can be
emotional.
emotional. That's the male version of y'all calling us dramatic or extra. That is what she's referring to when she says
I'm
emotional.
dramatic
We know you
extra
dramatic
anyways.
as hell. Exactly. You're emotional.
Yeah, and sometimes your
But we're
ass
not
can be
talking
a
about
little
your
emotional.
I am
But we're not
not
talking about your
emotional.
emotions. It's different.
You're talking about
Vulnerability
emotion.
and being dramatic are two different things.
Yeah.
We're not
Should we-
talking about your vulnerability. We know
should
you're
be a fun
vulnerable. You
episode.
opened up to us about all kinds of stuff. That's you being vulnerable, and we don't hold that against you. And
That
you
is
already
you
told
being
us what you're
emotional.
comfortable with
You're
us making
safe.
fun of and what not to make fun of. And we stopped doing what you told us what you weren't comfortable
Oh
with.
my
That was you being
God.
vulnerable and being honest. Now the other stuff is you being dramatic. That's what we're referring to when we say emotional. Not when you're actually being vulnerable. When you're being vulnerable for real, we hear you, we listen to you, and we follow that. Because we're your friend and you're safe here. We're going to check the shit out of you. But if we go too far, you draw a line
and we won't cross
we
it.
won't cross that line.
This has been another great episode.
See, now you're being emotional
of
now,
We
'cause you
Discuss.
ain't
Look
feeling-
at you here in your feelings.
No,
Now you better
Feels.
put that same tone you had a few minutes ago when we was talking about titties.
Yeah.
Bring the titty energy back to this close and don't close
You
it out
just
dry.
watched the great episode.
That's what you
We
do with the
Just
titties?
Talking
Well,
Ish.
so tell her get a refund.
Tell her
Yours,
come back and
mine,
walk back through with that robe on.
Ours, the highs and lows of co-parenting, part 2. We are up to 15, which means there are 5 more episodes to go. Look, that's okay, because once I get this other app working, you're going to see all this crazy stuff that you don't get to see when one certain person is speaking, all that stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, this is We Just Talking Ish, no Taurus edition, no version 2.0, the only version. They're playing with their titties, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we not.
No, we're not.
They're smashing
not.
their titties in between the microphones that was provided for them, which means
No way. No way.
No.
he's putting
Don't know
the
what you're
dick
talking about.
in between titties.
Don't know
Here
what you're
on the
talking about.
co-parenting episode. They're having their own. Now she's gargling Essentia water as if it's extracurricular activities. She's having her own EA Sports over
EA
there.
Sports. It's in the thing.
It's in ladies and gentlemen, yeah. We want to thank y'all for listening to us the
hold
first
on.
15. Now she wants me to hold on.
Yeah, because I wanted to say, because by the time this airs, I'm finna take us out of this era. My baby's birthday will have passed, and she told me I had to
Right.
make sure to give her a shout out. So
Yes, ma'am.
happy birthday,
That shout out's gonna
Ajara.
Happy
cost-
birthday, Ajara.
That's the way
Little
up.
Hamilton friend.
Yes, that's
Little
your
Hamilton
Hamilton friend.
All right.
Because we're in the
So-
room where it happens, and we're not gonna throw away our shot. We just watched Hamilton yesterday again for the 14,000th time.
You mean the singing?
Baby, she
The
be watching
musical,
Hamilton
yeah.
all the time
On
and
Disney
singing the
Plus?
song.
Yeah,
I couldn't get into it.
because you're not
I'm-
elevated
Look,
enough.
no.
Right.
You need my daughter to watch it with you, so
It's
she can
interactive.
explain everything.
So she can talk to me. Got it. I
So
don't
she
like
can
people
tell
like
you
that.
everything of
So-
why this happened and why that happened. She's gonna give you a
Or-
full biography.
Or you can watch it with me and my boys, where we do an interactive performance with remixes and other commentary in between the songs. How
Lord
we
have
flipped it to
mercy.
our version.
So I have my options. I can
You
have
do.
the history lesson, or I can have the behind the scenes.
The chopped and
Extraness.
screwed,
The chopped and
remix,
screwed
and
remix.
it's real extra.
So I'm
I'm
still
talking about we
using this
real
voice.
extra.
We got 3 minutes and 10 seconds left of recording time.
Got
I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it
Well, who sung that?
because
Avant.
that's Avant.
Yeah.
Avant.
Avant. Every time I feel, I get a bad back. Co-parenting. That's how we feel. We
My very
thought of
bad.
someone else.
Yeah.
flashback.
So this is we just talking. Yeah, and then as late as I love it when they're late. No, I don't.
Rosa still missed
No, I
because she
don't.
reading
I
the text
don't.
message.
I
Did
don't.
you get a dick pic?
Oh, it's the farm.
No.
He wants to plant some
the
new
farm
seed.
the farm has been closed.
2 minutes and 21 seconds left
Just
on
tell
the
the folks
recording
bye.
clock. I was just informed to tell the folks bye.
They good. They'll come back next
Like
week.
I was saying,
They
thank
said we done
y'all.
ran out.
Thank y'all for
Sticking with us this long.
sticking with us for this long. If you go to the page, you'll see one of our lovelies. She was on an episode of Main Look. You want to know who Main Look is? Go to episode 10. She did a great job on there. So she was on there. Go ahead.
Represent
Support
for We
her.
Just Talking Ish on the Main Look
Support
podcast. It's on
him.
Facebook. Kevin Locke,
Yes.
who was our guest for episode 10. Go back and watch that. Then
Yes.
hop up on Facebook
I actually put it on Facebook, so you don't have to go far.
Boom.
I'm going to put certain episodes on there. Yeah.
What was that? Did you get your shield up your butt?
Yeah. Oh, but I'm about to go get some. No, wait a minute. That wasn't going to come out right. Extracurricular activities. In less than 1 minute. Anything y'all want to talk about? Anything y'all want to say?
No, I'm just really excited for next week's
I
episode
am
because
too.
it really needs to be discussed. Like, let's not weaponize men's vulnerability because I feel like women, you fumble a lot of good men by not understanding this particular concept. Like, for real. Like, it's a part of the secret society men's book that's not really a secret. You just not paying attention. I hear this from my male friends.
Yes.
I hear this from the men that I've actually been involved with. It's one of the reasons why they still try to come back because that was a safe space. I never weaponized whatever they decide to open up with me about. So I'm really, really excited to talk about this and hopefully we can help somebody to help somebody to help somebody.
Yeah.
Because you could
I've been down that
definitely
road.
help with the helping somebody by just hitting the share button. On
The
YouTube.
like button.
YouTube, share it
Like.
to with your Twitter.
Comment.
We told y'all to start commenting. Y'all still ain't commenting enough for my liking. Don't make me start texting y'all. Because I will. Me, number 5, number 8, number 9, and number 11. We will text y'all.
All that.
Out of the
now,
17.
The recording clock is blinking at me. Y'all have a wonderful day, night, evening,
Weekend.
whatever. Yes, all that
Quinceañera.
smoke. Hit that share button, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and we out of here.
Ding-a-ling.
You know, we out of here.
You gonna cut it?
Shit,
Cut it out.
just out of here.
Cut it out.
We just talking.
Cut what off?
Cut the recording off.